Hi everyone, welcome to your weekend readings. I hope you've had a good week so far. I'm hoping you're feeling things ease just a little with Mercury finally moving direct yesterday. Obviously, Mercury is still conjunct Neptune. We've still got Pluto conjunct the South Node as well, so plenty to play with. But hopefully, you're just finding a bit easier to move, to get things done, and things will get a little bit smoother as the next month sort of goes on. So if you're here, please don't be shy. Say hi in the chat. Let me know how you're doing. Hi, Sith Lord Lauren. So I'm going to start in a moment by getting a look at what the collective is doing, where we're up to, what we're facing at this time. And then I'll move on to pull cards for the 12 signs. And please let me know how you're doing as well, how your week's been. Hoping things are getting a bit easier for everyone at the moment. Hi, Hooks Fremont. And if you're here as well, please remember to like the video. Please remember to share the video. That helps me. Hi, Tara. Hi, Teresa. Okay, so we'll be starting off with the collective and the outlook for the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Hi, Matt. So cards for the collective, first of all. Let's get a sense of where we're at. Hooks Fremont says challenging week. Yeah, I think there's a few of those out there. I mean, what we are still dealing with at the moment is Pluto being conjunct the South Node. That's going to bring up some primal emotions. That can be ancestral stuff, that can be past life stuff or early life stuff. And so there's like a lot coming up to be felt, to be cleared. It's important work, but it may feel quite a lot at the moment. And obviously you may start to get triggered by a few things around you, and you need to stay with your process and just try and stay in your heart space and stay open. Protect yourself, protect your own energy, but obviously be able to be loving and compassionate, both to individuals and to where people are at collectively at the moment. Teresa's saying, I've been shown where healing needs to occur. That's really valuable insight, Teresa. Again, it's about staying with that process. Hi, Patricia. Yeah, Mercury is in shadow until the 15th of April. And leaves Pisces, I think, on the 20th of April. Mercury doesn't do wonderfully in Pisces either. But we have Venus in Pisces now, and that's a much, much more gentle and more dreamy energy that feels much, much nicer there. So it's not all bad news, you know. Space to get moving a bit anyway. Just stay with it. So the picture for the collective. Okay. Hi, Super Angry Koala. Okay. Okay, so I mean, the first thing they showed me was quite a sort of almost imposing or intimidating looking, probably male or masculine figure. And I feel that it isn't actually a figure that means us harm, but may come across as quite aggressive or assertive. So we might be feeling this as a father figure or as a partner or just as an authority figure, possibly. And so what we're talking about, I feel there is just, I feel that for a lot of people, there's somebody in our past who pushed a lot of buttons for us. And I don't feel like they necessarily meant us any harm, but we might have felt a lot of wounding from that person, even though it wasn't intended. And that's causing us just a little tension, if you like. There's some old stuff coming up from that. And that may be early life, but that may also be past life, or it may be ancestral. And it may be that that we are starting to understand our ancestors, including our immediate parents, a bit better through what's coming up at this time. So coming up, first of all, we have the Knight of Wands, and I feel the Knight of Wands is that figure who was trying to cajole us kind of into action, into doing certain things or acting certain ways, felt they were probably acting in our best interest. That isn't really the case in everyone's case, obviously. But I feel like there's a chance to understand where people in our past or in past lives or our ancestors or their ancestors were sort of coming from. And even if their behavior is still kind of unpleasant, we can sort of get a sense of almost seeing things through their eyes at this time. And it's not unhealthy to have a perspective like that. That doesn't excuse any abusive behavior, obviously, but it's a useful perspective to be gaining. And I feel that's the Knight of Wands there. Somebody who maybe didn't think things through too much, felt they were doing the right things, but didn't stop to consider what the actual emotional impact might be of their actions upon us. And that could be a theme for quite a lot of people watching. And underpinning it is the Five of Wands. So I also feel that we're kind of conflicted over that. We're kind of conflicted over that. We might have some really difficult stuff to work through. But somewhere up in the corner, when we look away from the immediate wounding, there is something blooming and blossoming there. There's something to be drawn out of that, even if that's just a release or a new lease of life that we can start to move into in relation to that. That's a big change. That's a really, really big change. With the Two of Cups in the past, I feel this is somebody who loved us or who should have loved us, maybe didn't show their love that well. And in the present, we get the Seven of Wands. So we're sort of, it's almost like we're just peeking out at this now and trying to come to terms with it, trying to come to grips with it. And a lot of it is stuff that we just need to be able to release. But part of that is being able to look at it and see it from different perspectives, understand how it shaped us, how it harmed us. I feel for a lot of us, there was wounding, there was harm done. But also be able now to sort of rise above it, not to sort of be pulled in where it's an old fight that we return to, but where there is this space almost to start to move above that and not have to fear it so much. So we start to connect with it on that level. And that's like the current process, the current cycle that we're going through. Now, where that leads us to is more freedom. It's a space of the fall. So I feel this is work that we all have to do. It's work that we all have to do if we're going to be able to do anything new. Because what we're starting to feel is just we may not have realized the way in which this has held us back. Maybe we've had certain behaviors and patterns. Maybe we inherited those patterns. Maybe we carried them in from past lives. But being able to understand those is going to allow us to free them. And then they become a little less important to us. They're still sort of there in the background. You know, I don't feel that we heal emotionally overnight. But there's a freeing up that goes on. And there's a space to be able to do something new. But it means that we have to do the work of getting to grips with those hurts, where they came from, how they felt. And yes, taking a perspective that doesn't let anyone off the hook, if you like, but sees things from their perspective as well, sees that somewhere in there was some love, however misguided, but they didn't show it wonderfully well. And we sort of just work with that. You know, I can't say too much more than that because this is going to play out in such an individual way. And if you look at where the South Node is in your natal chart, you'll get an idea of the area of life that's particularly affected. Look at the sign and look at the house. They're both very, very important. But this is the sort of, you know, there is a space to be freed from this internal conflict, from seeing somebody as overbearing and maybe never stopping playing this overbearing role on us, being on our back in some sense, being on our case in some sense. What might have developed into an inner critic or an internal voice or something similar over time. But we come out, we take a look, we start to rise above it, to see it from a new place. And we move into this space of freedom, this more joyous space. I hope that makes sense to those watching. That's the collective picture. Hi to those just tuning in. Hi, Joyous Day. Hi, Afro Princess. I'm going to move on now to look at what this looks like now for the 12 signs for this weekend. So I don't feel like this is an intense energy. I feel that we just need to obviously watch for when we're not responding to something that's current, or when we're responding through an old lens, an old pattern, understanding where it comes from. So the first sign up is going to be Aries. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Aries. Hi, CC Beige. Aries. Okay, Aries. Okay. Okay, Aries, I feel like I feel like the coast is is pretty clear for you. It's pretty clear for you, but you're not actually sure what to do. Now the coast is clear. I feel that you've been in this defensive place, this defensive mindset for a while, but now it's just sort of cleared. It's clear there's nothing obvious to be afraid of in front of you. But I feel that with there being nothing obvious to be afraid of in front of you, you're sort of like, what do I do now? Where do I go from here? What's next? So that's a little complicated for you. So we have 8 of Wands. No, this is the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands shows up, first of all, for you. 9 of Wands shows up. That's what I felt in the first place. Teach me to double check. 9 of Wands is showing up for you. So you're sort of, there's this defensive stance that you adopted. And even though the coast is now clear, you've sort of been in this place. And underpinning it, you're sort of like, I can't really let my guard down. You don't feel you can let your guard down. You feel like the work isn't done, that things can't be okay just yet for you. And that's meaning that you're not quite going all out, going full pelt just yet. So that's a little complicated for you. And it might be slowing you up a little bit. And yes, it's okay to be vigilant, obviously, especially when things have been difficult recently. But with the 8 of Pentacles underpinning it, it's almost like you've been hard at work, hard doing what you're doing, and now you're finding it hard to shift out of that into this freer space that's in front of you. It's a freer space, it's a grounded space, and it's a space where you've been healing a lot with the Queen of Pentacles showing up as well. And I feel that some of you, Aries, might be dealing with issues that connect to your mother at this time. These might be experiences that you had with your mother, or these may be your mother's patterns that you inherited. But I feel like this is the kind of stuff that is showing up. And so you're attempting to heal what may not just be your own stuff. It may not just be your own stuff. And I feel that this is what's causing you to doubt yourself, to doubt the freedom and the space that you have to move into at this time. And it's meaning that you're moving quite slowly. Quite slowly, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I feel with the 5 of Pentacles, it's almost like The coast is clear, but you're also not seeing much support, even though I feel like the support is there. So you're sort of been in this place, in this space of feeling like you have to be defensive, like there's not much support for you, but I feel like there is support for you. But I feel that you've inherited this idea that you have to do it all alone. And that's quite difficult. It's quite difficult, and it's making you quite cagey and cautious with the Four of Pentacles showing up as well, Aries. So I don't see much movement for you at the moment. But I feel what you do need to do, even if you don't get going on new stuff straight away, is just breathe it in and start to accept this new space, the freedom that it gives you, and ground and relax a bit. I don't feel like you relax and then you do nothing else all month or whatever, but ground and relax a bit, because I don't feel like you have to be in this defensive stance, nor do I feel like it has to be work, 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 work. I feel that you're in this comfortable place, and I feel that you can afford to relax just a bit. You can value what you've gained, how far you've come, but you don't need to be guarding so much. You can look over your shoulder so much, because I feel like you might be shutting other people out, and that might be an old pattern, and you can be a bit more open and a bit freer at this time, Aries, and it's just going to help you to sort of have the space then to start getting on with new things and connecting to people in a deeper way. And that's not been easy for you. I feel you're very, very closed off, and there are reasons for that. But that's also something that you're working through, and that you really need to sort of be able to release and just accept that actually the going isn't as tough now as it has been for a while. I hope that makes sense to you, Aries. Coming up next is going to be Taurus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Taurus. And if you're watching, please remember to like the video. Please remember to share the video. That helps a huge amount. Taurus. Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Okay, Taurus, what they were showing me as quite a haunting figure sort of laughing at you. And again, I don't necessarily feel like this is somebody current. I feel this is something haunting you from earlier on. And again, this might be current life, it might be past life, but this is something that has made you quite scared, quite rigid. You're not feeling very expressive. That's the sense that I get, is that what is coming up there is something that stops you from fully expressing yourself at the moment. So it feels difficult. It feels really, really difficult. And I feel like this has been coming in, and you're kind of like, I thought I was past this. And now suddenly I'm thinking of this person again, or I'm thinking of this experience again, or I'm feeling like somebody's laughing at me. And this is sort of very, very prominent for you at this time. And it's making you guard yourself with the Four of Pentacles showing up in your conscious mind. It's also the case that this is kind of the time that you need to work on this. Face it. Who is this figure? What do they mean to you? How do they affect you? Because this is the stuff that you need to be working through at this time. So I feel that, you know, we had the Knight of Wands shot for the collective, and this Knight of Wands for you feels quite sinister, sort of like the person who you felt was in your past, but you're still affected on some level. This is coming up with the Wheel of Fortune. So with the Wheel of Fortune coming up, I feel that the time that this was going on has passed, but this is now giving you the time to release this. That's why you're being given this. It's absolutely why you're being given this. But you have to be prepared to feel into and work with it. With the King of Swords showing up, I feel like you're looking away from this. You're looking away from this. You're trying to be dispassionate. Trying to be like, oh, it's not that bad. It doesn't affect me anymore. No big deal. Sort of whatever. But I feel that you're not allowing yourself to connect to the impact that that figure has on you. And again, they could be showing up as an internal critic at this time as well. But I feel that it's impacting you in various ways. And you need to be doing the work on this, Taurus, because not only do you have the wheel showing up for you, but you also have the Tower showing up. And with the Tower showing up, I feel like you either do this work or a situation gets created where this impacts you more directly in your current life. And therefore, you're being pushed to do that work at this time, Taurus. And that may be as simple as just acknowledging the impact that that figure has on you. And by acknowledging it and really feeling into how that impacts on you, you can see where in your body you're storing that up. And you can start to do some work on it with whichever sort of methodology is correct for you. But don't just dismiss it. It doesn't mean attach to it. It doesn't mean pretend it's current. But if you're being impacted in this way, then there is this process that you have to take part in. And if you're not willing to sort of take part in the normal way, I feel that with the Tower, something is going to come into your life that forces you to deal with this. This could be a very challenging situation for you that comes in if you try and maintain this sort of dispassionate stance. Now you're kind of like, I'm really busy. I'm busy with my other stuff. I can't be dealing with this stuff. I feel that you have to make space. You have to make space for this, Taurus. You have to do work on this area because you do have the capacity to juggle. And I feel that therefore as well, there's other stuff that you're still going to be doing. Some of it's a lot lighter. Some of it's a lot lighter. So you're going to be able to balance things out. Yes, you need to do some emotional work. You do some healing work, some release work. But with that, you can still go out and enjoy yourself. You can still get on with the things that you need to do. You can still enjoy other people's company. But at the moment, it's like you're being held back from that by this figure who's coming up from your past or from an ancestral pattern or from a past life pattern who is affecting you. But with the Two of Pentacles, you have the space to be able to be that bit lighter with this. So it's not all focus on this thing. That'll be a bit too much. But it's the balance. It's the balancing out of those. It's keeping yourself grounded as well. But I feel that you have the space to do that now. And if you don't work on that, then you kind of get propelled in that direction, whether you like it or not, Taurus. So the universe kind of wants you to do this work. I hope that makes sense for you. Coming up next is going to be Gemini. Hi, Esther. Next up is Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the 29th to the 31st of March, 2019. Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Okay, Gemini. There's a love situation here. It feels like possibly a soulmate relationship or possibly a karmic one. There's somebody you're meeting and it's conjuring up very, very deep feelings. I feel this is somebody who was very romantic towards you, either earlier in this life or in a past life, but the sense I'm getting is that sort of connection, if you like. And it's kind of flipping you out a little bit, making you a bit anxious, a bit scared, because you're sort of like, these feelings are really intense. What does this mean? What does this mean? What do I do? And part of you really wants to embrace it because they make you feel good. And part of you is really overwhelmed by these feelings. And you're getting the overwhelm showing up as the 8 of Swords. So you're sort of feeling like you can't trust this situation. You don't want to act on it. You don't want to connect with this person at this time. You're feeling like it's a bit too much. You feel like it's a bit too much. And yet underpinning it are all these feelings coming up that you have as the 6 of Wands. So you have, I feel like, this very, very happy past with this person, whether in this life or in a past life. The sense that I get is this very, very happy past, and you're not trusting it now. You're not trusting it now, and I feel that that may just hold you back a little bit. I feel that this is kind of a fated meeting. I feel that you may be overthinking it a bit. And I feel that you have to trust your feelings. And if your feelings are those of excitement and recognizing a deep connection, then you kind of need to explore this, because I feel like this is a relationship, or at least an encounter, that you have to experience and find out where it goes. The High Priestess shows up, and I feel with the High Priestess showing up in this position, this is a meeting that has to take place. It's something that you need to feel, that you need to understand. This may or may not turn into a big relationship. It may just be there to finish something and to release it. But I feel that you need to take part in this. It's not something you can run the other way from, because I feel there's something here that needs to be said or done or happen. And I don't feel like it's horribly foreboding or whatever either. I just feel like your anxiety plays tricks on you there. You're like, oh, not again, not another one of these. Maybe you've dealt with like past life partners in the past, karmic relationships in the past, this sort of thing. And so you're feeling like, oh, I don't want that now. But I don't feel like this has to be such a bad thing. But you are in this place of inaction with the 4 of Swords, where you're thinking about this a lot, but not doing much. Not doing much. But I feel that you can trust the stability that you have in your life already. And I feel that you can engage with this person, get to know them, or get to know them again, if you've known them before, and get a sense of where they're at. And all you need to do is maintain a bit of self-discipline and some boundaries. This doesn't have to disrupt your whole life by any means. The feelings are really, really strong, and that's what's holding you back. But I feel like you can just feel into this, let it happen slowly, maintain some self-control. I know you get carried away at times, Gemini, but maintain some self-control, keep yourself grounded, and set yourself a few ground rules and stick to them. And that way, as long as you stay with that, I feel like you'll be okay. Your final card there is the Emperor. So I feel this is all about self-control, self-discipline. But self-discipline doesn't mean going, I'm not going near it, because that's just anxiety. Self-discipline means approaching it, but honoring yourself throughout this process. Honoring yourself throughout this process and seeing where it leads, where it goes. I hope that makes sense to you, Gemini. The next sign is going to be Cancer. Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising for the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Cancer. 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 Okay, Cancer. Okay, be a little careful, Cancer. Be a little careful with your encounters at this time. I feel like somebody may not be all that they seem. It's probably the best way of putting it. They may not quite be all that they seem. And that's a little difficult for you. So I feel like somebody has come back into your life, or it's a new person, but somebody, and if it's a new person, it may again be a past life connection, or maybe something that connects to some ancestral pattern, because these are what's coming up for the collective at the moment. And I feel like this is somebody who appears very, very steady, very calm, someone who you feel, okay, connect to this person. Maybe you've been waiting to meet someone like this for a while, Cancer. Maybe you've been waiting to meet someone like this for a while. Maybe you've wished and hoped for a meeting like this. With the Three of Wands and with the Magician as well, I get the sense that you feel like, oh, finally. And then you let your guard down. So I feel the Eight of Swords here is kind of negatively aspected. I feel that you're letting your guard down a bit too much. You're not necessarily thinking things through, and you're sort of swept away by someone's outward appearance, their demeanor, their manner, but you're not getting to know them. And you just need to slow down a bit. You need to slow down a bit, Cancer. You have the Knight of Pentacles showing up in your challenge positions. I feel this may be an earth sign that you're meeting. This may be, therefore, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And on the surface, they feel very steady, together, soft. They feel really, really soft. But I feel that you just need to be a little careful. You need to be a little careful and get to know them a bit better and not start anything just yet. I feel that you need to see who this person actually is, because I feel like for a lot of you, you've been waiting for someone, but this may not be that person. This may not be that person, and you may need to wait just a bit longer for the person you're actually hoping to meet and waiting for. So don't get carried away. Your final card is the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel that you'll be starting something with someone in the not too distant future. It just may not be this person, and you just want to hold back a bit and get to know them over time. So be a bit guarded. Be a bit guarded and kind of be Be very aware if this person starts to sort of lay down the law to you, order you about, or be very particular in various ways about what they want from you, need from you, that feels really rigid and constricting. Be very, very careful with that at this time, Cancer. And I feel that in time you'll get a better sense of this, and whether this is the person you've been waiting for, or whether this is kind of somebody who you need to allow to pass by. First appearances can be quite deceptive at this time. I hope that makes sense for you, Cancer. Next sign is going to be Leo. Esther is asking, do you feel our energy? I feel your energy collectively, Esther. And obviously, if I pull cards for you individually, I'll be able to tune in individually to you. I'm tuning into much more general energies when I'm pulling cards for the signs, obviously, but I can tune in individually when I'm pulling cards for individuals. So Leo, Sun, Moon and Rising for the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Hi Dee. Leo. 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 Okay, Leo. Thank you for letting me know that, Dee. They literally, when I was channeling there, they literally shouted daughter at me, and I assumed that was to do with Leo, but you've literally just typed that just then. So I feel that that may not be the Leo reading necessarily, so... Okay. That's like, no, you don't need to apologize for that, Dee. It means that that message was for you, and I'm really glad that that's happening. And it's kind of a sign that things hopefully are moving, you know, in the right direction there. I got the word daughter and the sense of somebody's heart really dropping. So it's kind of useful to know that that's you, because the message was obviously that this is going to be okay in time, but it's going to be difficult to work through, and you need to obviously allow some space for that person to heal. So this sort of makes sense. But for Leo is just, it's a little bit different. Very, very different. So it's another relationship focused reading, Leo, and where these sort of blur together is the heart dropping a bit, because I feel changes in your relationship at this time, Leo. I feel big changes in the relationship that you're in, and it's making you really apprehensive. You're like, am I losing this person? What's happening? This person seems to be changing quite a lot. Is this the end? I don't feel it is the end, but I feel that this is a space where things suddenly alter in your relationship and you need to be able to get to know who your partner is becoming at this time, Leo. So with death showing up, there are big changes afoot. Big changes afoot. Your partner might be doing something new, starting something new, behaving in new ways, exploring new parts of themselves. They might be having to move to a job or a position that's in a different town or city. And that obviously places a slight strain on things, or is you're perceiving there being quite a big strain on things. And you've put in a lot of work into this relationship with the Seven of Pentacles. And now you're like, oh, I thought it was going here. And now suddenly it's up in the air. And you're sort of like, am I losing this person? Are they going away? Is this how this ends? Five of Cups. So you're quite focused on the negative side of that. You're quite focused on potentially on loss. The sense that I get, you feel like I'm going to lose this person. How do I hold this? What do I do? Why are they taking this option? But they're taking this option because it's in line with their personal growth. It's what they need to do. And I feel that it tests your relationship, but I feel your relationship's in good shape, Leo. There is really, really strong love here with the Two of Cups showing up. Really strong love that underpins absolutely everything here. And you might be just focused that little too much on the immediacy, on the change, and and presuming that it goes badly, but I don't feel it necessarily does, Leo. There's a big change with death, really big change. It means that some things have to adjust. You may have to become a bit more fluid than you have been with the Seven of Pentacles. But I feel that in time, you're going to get a feel for how this still works, what it becomes, how you adapt, how they adapt. Do you go with them? Do you support them in what they're doing? If they're moving, do you travel with them? Or how do you work that out? That's going to become clear in time with Temperance. So yes, you may be a little upset, a little disappointed, but I don't feel your heart's breaking. I feel that your love is absolutely solid. And I feel that this is now a test of your ability to commit to the longer term, to new ways of doing things, new ways of feeling with your partner. Because I feel you'll be okay, but you need to be able to adapt over time. And I feel that you need to obviously discuss with them how you do that. You need a good discussion, a fair discussion, nobody laying down the law or anything else. Because I feel this can work out really, really well. But you can't focus entirely on the shock and the negativity that you might be at the moment, Leo. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Virgo. Thank you, Dee. I felt the two things blurred together a bit there. So it's a little complicated. Obviously, I don't know if your daughter has Leo in her chart or not. There felt like there was some kind of connection there, but that was definitely the picture for Leo. And that could be playing out, you know, with a partner, but that might also be a change with a family member as well. It's useful to know. Thank you, Dee. So Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising for the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Virgo. Virgo. Hi, Janine. Virgo. Hi, Ladybug. Okay. Hi, Nicole. Are you a bit grumpy at the moment? At the moment, Virgo? I get the sense that you might be a little grumpy, a little off with people, especially if they disturb you at this time. So it's the sense that I get. You're very hard at work. You don't want anyone else to come near your work until it's done. You're very protective of it. Anyone disturbs you from what you're doing, you're sort of like, you feel like it upsets your delicate balance with justice coming up. You feel like this just throws me off. I don't want it. Just leave me to get on with my stuff. Don't disturb me. Don't even think about giving me some advice. I'm not having that. I know what I'm doing. With the Knight of Pentacles as well, you are really sort of hard at work, really focused, very rigid. I know it's hardly out of character, but you're very, very rigid. And you may just be dismissing people a little too much. Like, okay, you can guard what you're working on. You can guard yourself. That's absolutely fine. But not anyone saying anything to you is a disruption. And I feel that you might miss a bit of connection, a bit of wisdom, a bit of knowledge, maybe a bit of insight if you cut things off and protect yourself, close yourself off too much, Virgo. And I feel you might be doing that. So you have the Ace of Swords showing up. With the Ace of Swords showing up, I feel like you're absolutely terrified that someone comes in that screws everything up. Don't want them in my work, don't want them in my face, don't need it. But I feel that I don't feel like it has to. I feel that the person you're reacting this way to has some insight, some knowledge. And I feel that you need to kind of start to move away from this really, really rigid pattern where you're so protective of your work. And I feel like if they come near you at the moment, you're going to start laying into them. You're going to scare them off. You're going to be quite critical. And I don't feel you need to. I feel this person can offer you insight, guidance, and maybe a bit of excitement. Just speed things up a bit, allow you to feel a bit more, because you may not be feeling that much, Virgo. You might be so focused on your work that you're not feeling too much. But this person comes in as the Knight of Wands. They come in as the Knight of Wands, so they cause a bit of aggravation, if you want to see it that way. But they can also cause a bit of excitement. They can stir things up a bit, get you going a bit, light a fire underneath you a bit. And this doesn't have to be a romantic connection either. I feel this is just somebody who's coming, it's going to G you up a bit. This may well be a work thing. This could well be somebody who wants to act as a mentor or a teacher. And I feel like you need to hear them out. You're a bit nervous because you don't feel like, you know, like earth on your part and fire on their part mesh that well. You feel like everything goes up in flames. I don't feel like it does. I feel this can just be warming and transformative for you, Virgo. So give them a bit of space to come in, because I feel that actually this is going to help you to move forward on what you're doing much, much better. And it's just going to put a bit of life into you, a bit of life into you, and a bit of excitement into you. But you need to allow them in and to connect. I hope that makes sense for you, Virgo. Hi, Lamis. So the next sign is going to be Libra. 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 Libra sun, moon and rising for the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Okay, Libra. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, Libra. Libra, someone, this is entirely a love reading for you, Libra, and I know you like them, so, you know, you can thank me later. There's somebody you're around at the moment, Libra, somebody you've just met or someone you've been around for some time, but you have some really deep feelings for them. Really, really deep feelings for them. You're full on falling in love with this person. Absolutely are. I don't see any other way to describe it. This is very, very big for you. It's very, very big for you, and you're not necessarily seeing too much from their side, not necessarily seeing too much movement from their side. And you're sort of like, do I declare my undying love for this person, or do I at the very least, how long do I hang around for? How long do I wait to get something back? How long do I wait for them to show me that they feel the same way? Libra, you have the 10 of Cups showing up. So in your mind, this is the real deal. And you're like, why aren't they moving? Why isn't this happening yet? What's going on? You have the 2 of Cups as well. So you're falling for them, and believe it or not, they're falling for you, but they may not be admitting it at this time, Libra. Really, really deep stuff. And the 6 of Cups is also showing up. So there's a real familiarity to this person. It's really comfortable on the one hand, feels really safe. Feels really safe. There's this childlike playfulness. It's maybe somebody from earlier in life, or it may be a past life partner. But I don't feel like this is something that you have to move away from. However, what you do need to do, Libra, is stay the course. This is really, really important. You've really got to stay the course with this one. I don't feel like you're going to get that response yet. Even though I feel like they are absolutely feeling it with the 2 of Cups. You're not going to get that response yet. You're not going to get that response yet because they're not giving too much away, and you're not giving too much away, and that's why you have the King of Cups showing up. You've got to hold on. Hang on in there. Allow this to develop over time with the 7 of Pentacles. It's not quite time for this to happen yet. But I don't feel like you need to look anywhere else. I don't feel like you need to go anywhere else at this time. I feel like you might distract yourself a bit. You're an air sign, Libra, you get all up in your head. That's where it gets difficult. But in your feelings, you have to trust your feelings. And you have to trust the other person is feeling the same way. You have to trust the other person is feeling the same way. And I feel that you will be getting there, Libra. You absolutely will be getting there. And this can be a new start for you. It's going to take a bit of time. It's going to take a bit of time. But when it does happen, 2 of Cups, 10 of Cups, You can trust your Ten of Cups. You can trust that you're looking at the big picture here, looking at something very, very big potentially. And because it has the potential to be something very, very big, that's why you don't just give up, throw in the towel, walk away, or anything like it. Hold it together and keep offering them love. Keep showing your love, your affection in the most mature way possible, whilst also enjoying the playfulness that underpins it, but with the maturity that's about being able to recognize that this is going to take a bit longer to happen. But I feel you're absolutely around the right person here, and there is real potential. I hope that makes sense for you, Libra. The next sign is going to be Scorpio. Hi, Pearl. Scorpio. Scorpio. Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising for the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Hi, Vivi. Welcome to all the new faces who are here for the first time. Thank you, Erin. Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. Wow, Scorpio. Okay, you have 5 majors showing up, so you don't get around this one. This is happening, Scorpio. This is happening. I'm going to try and piece it together for you now. You want to be in control. You really want to be in control, Scorpio, don't you? You're sort of out there being like, it's going to be this way. You're telling everyone how it's going to be. Do it my way. It's going to be like this. We'll do this, 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 this. I've got it all sorted in here. I know what I'm doing. No problem. And yet, that's not quite the case. So while you're being driven by the magician and you're like, okay, I'm in charge here. I'm in charge here. This is going to happen this way. The universe kind of has other ideas, Scorpio. So I feel like you're going to have to accept that things are not going to be quite as you planned them out. Death shows up. So I feel that you're resisting change. You're resisting the flow of things. It's not going to work out too well. Something's going to happen that's going to force you to take a sit down, reconsider things, and things are going to be a bit different from that. And I feel that you're not going to like this, even though it's for your own. It's going to work out wonderfully. It's absolutely going to save you from a fall. It's absolutely going to set you on the right path. But here's the problem, Scorpio. You'll have to accept someone else's advice. You'll have to accept someone else's advice because something is coming in that is going to throw you totally off balance, and you're going to need a teacher. or a guide of some kind, and somebody who may carry a lot of authority, a lot of weight, and you may not like that. You see, you have the Tower coming in at the moment, Scorpio. So you are going to be thrown onto your back. You just are. Whatever's coming in, it's totally going to upset that. You know, maybe something gets pulled away at work. Maybe something is going to happen in your personal life that is really, really sudden. You're like, oh, this changes everything. And maybe some unresolved stuff comes flying up, bubbling up for you. Stuff that you didn't deal with, that you pushed down because you're like, oh, no, I've got this all under control. But you don't, because you need to transform, and that means embracing it. You need to accept some help, some guidance with the Hierophant. Somebody knows their way through this better than you do, Scorpio, or at the very least knows how to guide you so as you can make the adjustment that you need to. And that doesn't get as heavy as it might do, because I feel the Tower is going to hit until you get the message. But I feel that it's going to open up this whole new path, whole new direction, whole new set of possibilities for you. And this could be in your love life, but this could be work related. This could mean just totally changing where you see yourself going, what you see yourself doing. This is really big, because your final card's the Wheel of Fortune. So this works out well for you. It absolutely works out well for you. You're going to feel the hit, and you're going to need to relinquish your grip on that wheel, Scorpio. You're going to need to relinquish that desire to tell everyone how it's going to be, and they'll have to do things your way. It's not going to work for you here. Big test for you. Big test, but with really, really big rewards, Scorpio. This is going to shape you. It's going to shape where you're going. It may shape a significant part of your life. So you have to let this one happen, and you have to be open to somebody guiding you through it, even if it's somebody who you might not be comfortable knowing taking advice and guidance from. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Sag. Yeah, unfortunately, Scorpio's out there. I don't feel like it's bad news in the long run by any means, but you know, you get 5 majors showing up. Basically, it's out of your hands. You have to accept it as being out of your hands. The universe is going to correct you. You know, death card is your card. You should be used to it. Sag. Sagittarius. Okay, Sag. This feels nice, Sagittarius. Where you're starting from feels really, really nice, really, really comfortable. I feel like you're in your own space. You have your comfort around you. Like I'm seeing some of you like just sitting there and stroking your cat or whatever. You're really comfortable, really happy with where you're at. And you're sort of like, oh, this is nice. I can relax here. I can absolutely relax here. With the Ace of Cups showing up, I feel that this is a big relief for you, but it's really nice, really comfortable. You're really, really happy. Happy with where you are this weekend. Happy with where you are this weekend, and therefore not thinking much further forward. Not thinking much further forward with the Hanged Man underpinning things. See, sort of like, I'll think about it later on. You don't want to think too much at the moment, basically. You're sort of like, no, I like this. I like this. I'll stop here. Nice, easy weekend. Don't anyone dare interfere with my nice, easy weekend. Because you'll defend your nice, easy weekend with the 7 of Wands, Sagittarius. So you're like, no one comes near me. I will get fighty. I will get fighty. So don't bother me. Not everyone's a threat to your happiness, Sagittarius. Not everyone's a threat to your happiness. And with the Knight of Pentacles showing up, I feel like somebody just wants to kind of come in and chat to you, spend time with you, connect with you, maybe show you some pointers, be like, okay, but you could be doing this as well. And you're sort of like, oh, leave me alone. You don't really know how to feel, so you're just resorting to this defensiveness. You don't know how to feel. You're like, oh, this person's going to ruin my happiness. So this person comes in as Knight of Pentacles. This may well be an earth sign. This could be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I don't feel like they disrupt you too much, honestly. Like, I don't feel they're like this really like excessive influence or whatever. But I do feel like you need to be open to them. I feel like they're just going to sort of just connect to you, maybe ground you a bit, because I feel you're very, very happy, but not necessarily that grounded. And they're just maybe just sort of helping remind you of a few things. So this maybe, I don't feel like it's a new person. I feel like, you know, this could be a partner, a family member, a friend, or whatever. And they're just sort of like, okay, it's okay to be enjoying yourself. But they're just going to remind you got some stuff that you need to do. Maybe you got some responsibilities to attend to or whatever else. And I feel that just taking their advice a bit, and you can still enjoy yourself, you can still chill, still relax. It's just going to allow you to reap a few rewards as things are coming forward for you with the 3 of Wands, Sagittarius. So it's not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. Just allow that person to come in and connect a little bit. You don't have to be quite so defensive and guarded. I feel your happiness is genuine. You're enjoying yourself, but that means you can let your guard down a little bit. Means you can let your guard down a little bit and engage with them. You can move out of that Hanged Man space and just engage a little bit. That's all it's going to take for you this weekend, Sag. The next sign is going to be Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Capricorn. Capricorn. Okay. Okay, Capricorn. You are tired, Capricorn. You are so tired. How much have you been taking on? When was the last time you enjoyed yourself? How much space have you made for self-care? And how much time have you spent just being like, no, I have to do this. All this needs doing now. This is what I always do. I have to do this or it won't get done. If it doesn't get done, everything else falls down. You've been kind of locked into this, Capricorn, really locked into it. But I don't feel like you can just keep doing this because you're so tired. Like you're struggling to keep your eyes open at times to stay focused. So you're trying really, really hard to be an emperor, to stay on top of things, keep things exactly as they are, being in charge of your own life. And you're like, with the High Priestess showing up, you're like, oh yeah, no, this is how it needs to be. It's how it needs to be. But I feel like you're actually ignoring the feelings in your body that are telling you you're tired. And these are not subtle feelings. These are literally like aching, sleepiness. Your eyes are not open that wide. You're tired and you're bored, Capricorn. You have the 10 of Wands showing up. You're not making a lot of time for anything fun in your life, are you? So what are you going to let go of? Why do you feel like everything is going to go wrong if you just relax a bit, Capricorn? Because I don't feel like it does. I feel like the problem is that you're going about things in a way that isn't necessarily up to date for you, isn't necessarily right for you anymore. So you need to be giving it a bit of a rest, giving yourself a bit of a rest, allowing things to relax, allowing yourself to relax. Allowing yourself to relax and reminding yourself that you're allowed to feel good. You're allowed to care for yourself. You're allowed to look and feel and want emotional fulfillment. Like, who told you you're not allowed to have fun? Who told you have to do the same thing over and over and over and over again, long after it stops showing results, Capricorn? You have the 10 of Cups showing up, so you can reach for something so much more fulfilling, so much better, so much right for you, Capricorn. But you can only reach for that if you allow yourself a break, if you start relaxing things, start letting go of things that don't suit you anymore. You see, I feel like for a lot of Capricorns, there is this space for a move forward. There is a space for something new. There is a space for you to be able to maybe start a new relationship, or if not that, just a new way of doing things, a new way of doing things that is freer and that is lighter, Capricorn. I also feel like, you know, like take yourself for a swim or to a spa or something, because water is showing up really, really strongly. You might need to submerge yourself or at least have a long bath or something, but don't keep punishing yourself, because you're going to miss something really, really good by being this rigid. Your final card is the Fool. So I feel a new beginning for you, a new start, a new way of doing things. I feel it places you in line with the collective as well, who also have the Fool in their future. But you're only going to get there if you give yourself a break. If you allow yourself to feel, to relax, to connect with water, and to allow yourself to desire and go after some emotional fulfillment and not just the material stuff. I hope that makes sense for you, Capricorn. The next sign up is going to be Aquarius. And for those asking, I pull cards for a few people at the end when I'm drawn to them. If you keep asking, obviously that just creates an energy where somebody is trying to drain on me. It makes it harder for me to read. So please don't do that. There's space to ask a question at the end. But if you do it whilst I'm doing this, all it does is disrupt the energy and the flow of the readings that I'm doing for the signs. Aquarius. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising for the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Nicole is filled with trepidation. So there's a drum roll beating inside of you at the moment, Nicole. Aquarius. Aquarius. I have the same problem, Super Angry Koala. It's very disappointing. I get the same issue. I'm planning on like booking a session in a flotation tank in the next week or two for exactly that reason. Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. So you're doing the resting thing, Aquarius. You're definitely doing the resting thing. And yet there's something bubbling up from under the surface. I feel like this places you far more in line with the collective. And that's happening to everyone, obviously, but you're far more in the midst of it, if you like. So you're resting up with the Four of Swords. You're resting up with the Four of Swords, but I don't feel like your mind is really shutting off because you're sort of like, no, there's something I've missed, something I'm not doing. What is it? Something's not quite right here. Something's not quite right. I'm supposed to be doing something. Supposed to be doing something, supposed to be with someone, doing something with someone, saying something to someone. So you're not really managing to rest, even though you're trying to. 8 of Wands is in your subconscious. So this stuff is just, it's like bubbling up, like water is being boiled, and it's just coming to the boil now. You're going to get a sense of what this is, or at least you might think you know what it is, but you might leap to the wrong conclusions, Aquarius. With the Hierophant showing up, you are trying to sort of, I feel like you've looked for guidance for other people. I feel like people have told you to rest. You're like, okay, this is a good idea. I'm supposed to be resting at the moment. It's a restful period. Don't have to do too much, but you can't allow yourself to rest. And I feel that you're going to start getting like impulses this weekend, emotional impulses. What you might feel are insights. I feel this is deep stuff. I feel it's old stuff. I feel these are patterns. Old patterns of emotions that are coming up. They're coming up for you to resolve. Some of them are past life patterns, some of them are early life patterns, some of them are ancestral patterns. It's this kind of theme like the collective has been experiencing. But that's coming up for you this weekend. But with the moon showing up, be very, very careful not to leap to any conclusions, Aquarius. This is really, really important. There is a process going on here. There's wisdom needed. And you'll feel this forcing you to like, oh, I have to do this now. You have to settle. You have to settle, because with the moon showing up, you're not getting the whole picture. You're getting part of the picture, but not the whole picture. And if you make a sudden move or a rash move, it might be the wrong one. It absolutely might be the wrong one. Your final card is the 5 of Swords. So I feel like you might be like, I know what this is. I need to do something about this person or this issue. You might then take this out on someone who you feel you're being pointed at as being like the problem, the source of your issues. But I feel that you're going to get that slightly wrong. Your radar is slightly off at this time, Aquarius. So be careful. Accept the feelings that are coming up. I don't feel like you have to rush out and do something despite your impetus to do so. I feel if you do that, it will cause you issues. So I feel you come back. Just a bit of wisdom. Observe, but don't act. Observe, but don't act at this time, Aquarius. Now that's difficult, especially when you're trying to rest, but you can't get the rest that you need. But work with your process. Journal. Possibly look to see a counselor to talk some of this stuff out with, but don't leap to conclusions. This is really important for you. I feel like it's going to become clear, but it's going to take about 3 weeks for you to really get to the bottom of this. So you're going to have to work with this for now, Aquarius. I hope that makes sense for you. The final sign is going to be Pisces. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the 29th to the 31st of March 2019. Pisces. Pisces. Mercury is direct finally in your sign, Pisces, and Venus has entered your sign. Venus is much better news in Pisces than Mercury is. Venus exalted in Pisces. Whereas Mercury is in fall in Pisces. Very different energies. Okay, Pisces. You've been quite emotional, Pisces. I know you're an emotional sign, but you've been quite emotional, not giving too much away. You don't feel like it's a good time to give too much away. So you've sort of been focused, waiting, but not committing to anything at this moment in time. The 3 of Wands, you're sort of like waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for the right thing to come towards you, and feeling that when you do, you will engage. You're totally engaged and you go with it. But you've been like, oh, when's it going to come? I'm getting a bit sad. Getting a bit sad. With the Seven of Swords as well, you're guarding yourself. You don't feel like you can connect that easily at the moment. You're like, oh, could be another false dawn. Might not be what I think it is. So you're having a few difficulties there, Pisces. I don't feel that there's no options in front of you either. I think there's lots of options in front of you. And I feel as well as that you've got fantasies, you've got an imagination going on. You have the Seven of Cups showing up. So yes, you are waiting, but you need to be a bit creative with your thoughts and your feelings at this time, Pisces. I feel that there is a need for you to fantasize a little bit. There is a need for you to start to just daydream a bit of what you want to come into your life. For a lot of you, this is a relationship. I'm feeling that most strongly, but you need to start to daydream a bit. Get yourself into that space where you can accept that when it comes in. Because I feel there is somebody who's offering you love at this time, because the Knight of Cups is showing up for you. So somebody is going to be interested in you, but you have to be in a space where you can accept that. Now, with Venus transiting your sign, you can absolutely do that. You can absolutely do that. And you need to be open. No assumptions. No preconceptions. Like, you're a dreamy sign. This should suit you really, really well. But with the Page of Swords showing up, I feel like you need to be just open to this experience as this person comes in. No preconceptions, because you can learn from it. No preconceptions, because I feel they can teach you stuff as well. This can be a learning relationship, a happy relationship, a relationship that develops in places that you weren't expecting. That's why you have to lose the preconceptions, Pisces. I feel that you wanted this. I feel like it's coming in, but I feel that you have to allow this to happen now. This may well be an air sign who comes in, who you've been around, and that therefore could be Gemini, could be Libra, could be Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You might find them a little bit immature. They might joke around, clown around, or whatever. Be open to it. Be open to it and allow that to become something for you, Pisces. I hope that makes sense for you. That is all 12 signs. And if my readings help you, if those readings help you, if you'd like to book a full personal reading, you can do so. My details are just in the box below. I'd be very, very happy to work with you on any area of life. I appreciate it's quite a trying time at the moment, so if I can help, I will. If you'd like to make a donation or leave me a tip, my PayPal details are also just in the box below. Those are hugely appreciated. Both of those things allow me to keep doing this work. Please subscribe to this channel. Please enable notifications, ensuring that you don't miss any videos. Please share the video. Please let your friends know about my videos. That helps a huge amount. And I have time now to pull cards for a couple of people. So if anybody has any questions, please pop them in the live chat and I will see who I am drawn to. There's one or two people who I'm going to need to pull cards for today. So pop the question in the live chat and I will see who of you I am drawn to. Okay, Pearl. Pearl is the first person who's come up. Does Spirit have any message for me? Let me have a look for you, Pearl. Get a sense of what you're dealing with, okay? Okay, Pearl. Okay. Okay, Pearl. I feel like somebody is approaching you, coming into your life. I sort of see them knocking at your door. You're not sure whether to let them in or not. You've been waiting to meet someone for some time. This isn't necessarily a romantic partner. I feel like this may be one of your parents who you've lost contact with, or a family member who you've lost contact with. And they're sort of coming back into your life. They're coming back into your life, and you're sort of like, can I let them in? Can I let them in? You're very excited. You're quite excited, quite hopeful. 2 of Wands, 10 of Cups. You're quite hopeful, but I feel like you need to be careful. You need to be careful how much you give away, how much you allow them into your life. Your final card is the 5 of Cups. So therefore, the sense that I get is that you might be very, very hopeful, and it might, excuse me, really disappoint you. So yes, you can make contact here, but don't get too overly optimistic at this time, because I feel like you might be setting yourself up for a slight fall there. Go slowly and don't expect too much, and draw what you can out of this situation with no illusions. I hope that makes sense for you. Let me see who else I am drawn to. Benita Bala is asking, what are Ruben's intentions towards me? Let me have a look for you, Benita. Knight of Cups, Benita. This is somebody who's interested in you, is going to probably come onto you, ask you out, flirt with you a lot. Somebody who's very, very interested. So allow that to become what it needs to, but be open. I feel like there's potential love there for you. I hope that makes sense for you. Okay. Esther is asking, is a love life possible for me? Okay, Esther, let me look at what you need to do in order to be able to find a love life. Esther, love life. Esther. Okay. You got some stuff to work through, Esther. You got some real stuff to work through. You're waiting for someone to come in and change things for you with the Ace of Swords. You might want someone to come in and change things for you. But you have a lot of internal conflict you haven't worked through with the Five of Wands. There's a lot of grief, possibly from a past relationship, certainly from early in life, and you need to be working on that, because at the moment, with the Nine of Swords showing up, you're too anxious and scared to open yourself fully. This needs some healing work. It needs some deep work. It means getting to know different parts of yourself in order to get there. But I feel like you're waiting for someone else to come in and do that for you. And it's not going to happen in that way. There is work that you need to do in order to be open to that, because you're not, at the moment, you're closed off. Someone comes in, it's going to terrify you. You're going to run the other way. So you've got some real work to do there. I hope that makes sense for you. And anybody who obviously I've pulled cards for briefly, if you'd like to go into more detail, I'm really happy to do that with you. You can just book a personal reading with me. My details are just in the box below. And I'm really happy to get really to grips with things and work with you through all of these things. I hope that makes sense for you. Let me see who else is coming up. Joyous Day is asking, I don't have a specific question, but can you pull a card for me? Let me have a look for you, Joyous Day. Okay. You're more or less doing everything right at the moment, Joyous Day. You kind of, you need to stay the course. I feel that your main concern is in work. It's to do with work. It's to do with work. You're wondering if things are going to move forward, if you're doing it right, if you have adjustments to make. I don't feel like you have drastic adjustments to make. I feel that with the High Priestess coming up, you're doing it right. You're in the right place. With the Four of Swords showing up, you may be overthinking things a bit. You may not be that active. It's the only thing. And I don't feel that you need to be overthinking things. I feel that all you need to do is just set your stall out a bit more. Show yourself a bit more. Promote yourself a bit more. Promote yourself as the person behind your business a bit more. And then with the Three of Wands, I feel like you're going to see a lot more results. But I feel like you are in absolutely the right place. You just need to be getting yourself out there and making yourself more a part of this. I hope that makes sense for you. I feel like I can possibly do one more. Let me see who I am drawn to. Super Angry Koala. Any advice or guidance for me, Zelda? Life has felt so taxing lately. Thank you so much, love. Let me have a look for you, Super Angry Koala. Advice or guidance for Super Angry Koala. Oop, card jumps out, hits the floor. So that's most of it there for you at this time. You've got to give yourself a break, Super Angry Koala. You've been so hard at work. And like I feel that things are so underway now. Give yourself a break. Go and see family. Go and see family. Go and visit family members. Seriously, you can't just keep your nose to the grindstone with the Eight of Pentacles all the way through. I feel like you need to see family members. I feel like there are important family events or dates coming up. These might be birthdays or anniversaries. Go and see some family members around those things, because I feel that it's just going to allow you to feel a bit more human again. It'll give you a break and it'll feel better than you might be expecting. I hope that makes sense for you. I am going to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you all so much for being here and creating such a wonderful, warm atmosphere. Please remember to like the video. Please remember to share the video. If you'd like to book a full personal reading, my details are just in the box below. If my work helps you and you'd like to leave me a tip or a donation, my details are just there as well. That enables me to keep doing this work. Please remember to subscribe, enable notifications. Please share the video with your friends. If they're in need of guidance, please point them in my direction as well if you feel I'm a good fit for them. I'm going to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I'll see you all again really, really soon. Have a great night.